Well, Arsenal monitoring Dan Olmo video is brought to you by Think Landscaping. They design, they plan, they transform your outdoor spaces. And I tell you what, they're really good when it comes to obviously emulating exactly what your garden, your compound would be like. So call them on those numbers that you're seeing onto the screen and you'll thank me later. It's called Think Landscaping, and they are doing all the best for you, and they are bringing the vibe to you where you are right about now. So this is the company, or this is our number one sponsor in this World Cup and the summer transfer window. So please go ahead, call those numbers, make the inquiries, and also refer them to your people. If at all you feel like you have a friend whose outdoor space really needs renovation or to be amplified to the elite class, please refer these guys to that person. Isn't that good enough for you, the viewers of what we call the Rokani Media Football? So, Think Landscaping is the answer for your outdoor spaces amplification. You understand? So welcome to this channel. Smash like button, comment and share. If at all you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Rokani David is my name, and hope everything is really going on well as planned. And we're here to bring you the latest news and information. World Cup starting today. Yesterday I went ahead to obviously do what I called my World Cup predictions, and I went in for Brazil to be my utmost favorite to obviously win what we call the World Cup. And I know many of you, some of you have not gone ahead to agree with me, and you are like, Spain, but I've given you my top 5, and Spain was number 2 in there. I think each and every team that you're mentioning in the comment section that will win, I think I've gone ahead to obviously mention it. You know, the only team I never went ahead to mention was England, and I don't find it anywhere near a mention when it comes to who will win the World Cup, I tell you, because I don't find them as competitors to win the World Cup, and I'll be shocked if at all they do win the World Cup. World Cup starting today, South Africa versus Mexico, a repeat of the World Cup of the 2010 edition in there for you. Now, we're also going to be talking about Raphinha. You know, he's one of those Brazilian superstars that we expect to hold the team of Brazil to the next level. And he has come out and obviously broken silence ahead of their World Cup, the World Cup start. Then also, James Rodriguez has given Luis Diaz his flowers, and is like, the guy has something special. And I don't know whether they're going to agree with him on what he has gone ahead to officially say when we reach that story, but indeed, it is a topic that will cause huge discussion in there for you. So let's get into our opening story and continue to subscribe, because we want to hit 30,000 subscribers. But as we speak right now, we do have 29,257. We are left with 43 subscribers to hit 29,300, and let's obviously get this out of the way before this day comes to an end. You understand? So let's do the needful, because my aim is to see to it that by the time we enter July, we are already up there in the 30,000k family in there for you. So let's obviously get going with this story coming in through from Adrian Sanchez, you know, and he has told us that Arsenal is monitoring the situation of Dani Olmo with Barcelona. Now, Dani Olmo is a very good player, I tell you. Now, Barcelona is a team that has not gone ahead to see him as a starter and maybe as an influential player. Now, when you look at Arsenal and what they are doing with the Spanish players in the Premier League under Mikel Arteta, it will obviously attract more Spanish players to come in through and really join the club of Arsenal. And Mikel Arteta himself being a Spaniard, you understand, he is one of those that would like to obviously bring in elite Spanish players to Arsenal. And guess what? So far, they do have Zubimendi. They do have Zubimendi. They have Mikel Merino and David Raya. They do have Mosquera. 4 players, you understand? So he is building a mini, a mini Barca team, Spanish team at Arsenal. And obviously, they are working a lot to see to it that they improve their side. I told you that Champions League final has gone ahead to obviously teach Arsenal lots and lots of things. And what lots of things has the Champions League final gone ahead to teach Arsenal? That they need more press-resistant players in their team. And if you are asked, one of the most press-resistant players in the world right now, especially who is versatile, Dani Olmo is one of those names that you have to mention because he is really a great player. And Arsenal are monitoring his situation at Barcelona, and they're like, if there happens to be a chance, we'll obviously go ahead and really do the needful. Why is Dani Olmo that player that Arsenal are really targeting? They're telling us that this is an elite attacking midfielder for Barcelona, and he's so much renowned for his playmaking intelligence, exceptional dribbling, and precise passing. He's most comfortable operating as a traditional number 10, utilizing his elite vision to orchestrate play between the lines. Now, these are players that Arsenal really want, and vision and passing, outstanding at thread, incisive through balls and distributing the ball accurately in the final third. That's what Arsenal really lacks. You know that very well, that Arsenal want to get in more players, especially who are playing from the outside areas of the pitch, to come in through and obviously open up and really create chances. And Dan Olmo is one of those. Although he enjoys playing as a traditional number 10, Dan Olmo can play as a right forward. He can play as a left forward. He can also play as a false number 9. So if you are Arsenal and you are looking at the games that he lost in the Premier League and at the Champions League final, if you have a Dani Olmo, he's an upgrade onto Leandro Trossard, because Dani Olmo is still young. I tell you, Dani Olmo is 28 years of age, and I think Trossard has gone ahead to hit his 30s and is in his early 30s. Now, if you bring in Dani Olmo, I think you are bringing him at the same age you brought in Leandro Trossard, but Dan Olmo is a better player than Leandro Trossard. I tell you, he is a better player, and I think he can obviously unlock defenses in the Premier League. Elite dribbling and ball control. Possesses a tight, fast touch, very important, and lower center of gravity. Obviously, that means he's not all that a towering of a lad, and a low center of gravity, allowing him to retain possession under heavy pressure and maneuver in tight spaces. So, this boy is very special, and each and everything we are reading here about him and his attributes that he brings to the game are what Arsenal are lacking in their in one of the forwards that they have to bring in through to transform their attack next season. Tactical intelligence, highly versatile and capable of adapting to different tactical systems, often drifting across attacking midfield as a central attacking midfielder, central midfielder, or play as a false number 9. Now, I've already gone ahead to talk about this. This is what makes him a gem in there for you. So, he is so special that he needs this to be done for him. And I tell you, Arsenal has to do the needful. Shooting and finishing, adept at creating his own shooting opportunities with both feet. He has a reputation for lethal long-range strikes and accurate finesse shots. Now, I tell you, shooting and creating himself space for shooting is what you need. That is it. You need a player like him, because if you don't have a player like him, there are games that need such a caliber of a player to unlock them. And Dani Olmo is one of those that ticks all the boxes for the club of Arsenal. Guys, now, if you're talking about Dani Olmo, you have to look at others that Arsenal are looking in through, because Arteta is so much onto Morgan Rogers. You understand? And I really understand why he's so much onto Morgan Rogers. Still young, he's English, Premier League proven, and he believes that he has won at Aston Villa, and he is now ready for the big occasion in there for you. And when you look at the continent, I think Arsenal do need more continental players. especially in the attacking areas of the pitch. I believe Dani Olmo is the same. Like when you look at his attributes, he's versatile as Morgan Rogers. They can all play as right forwards, left forwards, central attack midfielders, and false number 9. That is it. They can all do that. From doing that, what makes Dani Olmo a better fit for the club of Arsenal? He's more talented, technically gifted. You understand? And I know even Morgan Rogers is, but this guy known as Dani Olmo, guys, is really better. Now, I'm asking you guys, what are your thoughts about Dani Olmo coming in through to do the needful at Arsenal ahead of Morgan Rogers? Of those two, who would you want to come in through at Arsenal? Is it Dani Olmo or Morgan Rogers? Because Morgan Rogers could go for like £100 million, and I think at 60, 70, you can get in Dani Olmo. So, if you are at Arsenal, what do you do? What do you do? Who do you obviously take? Put yourself in the feet of being Med, who Andy Batha is at Arsenal, and you're the sporting director. What choice do you make? Obviously, I know most of you will choose Morgan Rogers, but I'll really get in this guy, Dani Olmo. I tell you, he's a special caliber of a player. And I've always told you that I don't want anyone at Arsenal to come out and say, players have not gone ahead, obviously, come out and thrive in the Premier League. Like he's not Premier League proven. I hate that. Being Premier League proven. At Arsenal, Arteta has shown us that he can get in a player who is not Premier League proven and throws him into the team in his debut season, and he obviously hits the ground running. Thomas Partey came in through from Atletico Madrid, came in through the club of Arsenal, and he turned out to be one of the fans' favorites. So we can talk about players like William Saliba, talk about Hinkapie, talk about Mosquera, Julian Timber, Gabriel Magalhaes, Martin Zubimendi, talk of Victor Gyökeres, and very many others. You understand? So I think at Arsenal that doesn't apply. It doesn't apply. And I think when you are really looking out to win the Champions League, you should get in more continental players in there in the summer transfer window. Because for the homegrown players, I think Arsenal is doing good. Because you talk about Ben White, homegrown player, though he might be leaving. Noni Madueke, homegrown player. Saka, homegrown player. Declan Rice, homegrown player. Ebelechi Eze, homegrown player. Lewis Miles Kelly, homegrown player. You can talk about Ethan Waneri, homegrown player. Max Dowman, homegrown player. Now, in this summer transfer window, I think Arsenal should go in for another homegrown player, and then maybe look out for other 3. You understand? Especially into that right back, they might look out for a foreign player. And for the centre forward, they might look out for a foreign player. But onto the left forward, I think Morgan Rogers asked. When I read the stories of Morgan Rogers, they obviously speak volumes that indeed the manager of Arsenal is in love with this boy, I tell you. So Arsenal is monitoring Dani Olmo. I don't know what your thoughts are about it, but I'll be waiting to see what your thoughts are about it. Rokani David is my name, and continue to subscribe. Remember, we are powered by Think Landscaping, and you know what they do. They are really good at their work. So please do that in full and call those numbers if at all you want to plan, transform, and design your outdoor spaces to be adepts and elite. Let it be top class in there for you. So those are the numbers that you should call, and you'll thank Rokani David later. We leave Dani Olmo there, and there is something that we haven't obviously gone ahead to obviously hint on Dani Olmo, and that could obviously see him leave a club known as Barcelona. Mundo Deportivo is telling us that Dani Olmo is not expected to start for Spain in the World Cup. Fabian Ruiz could start alongside Pedri and Rodri in the midfield. Now, one of the reasons as to why he's not being given a chance to start in the Spanish national team, I think it's what he's going in through at Barcelona, not being looked at as one of those players that is really a dependable at Barcelona. So if Arteta can promise him that I'm obviously going to be making you a utility, a dependable player at the club of Arsenal, then indeed he will obviously say, I'm going to go there. He has his fellow Spanish players there. Obviously, the entourage is really enjoying some good time. Raya, Mosquera, Zubimendi, Mikel Merino, they are all enjoying. And I think during the World Cup right now, because Raya is there, Zubimendi is there, and Merino is there, Arteta might use that chance to obviously see to it that these lads at Arsenal, the Spanish lads at Arsenal, convince Dani Olmo to obviously come and join them if at all the interest is confirmed genuine. And Barcelona is also having some financial problems. You know that very well. Through them having financial problems, you understand what it calls for. It calls for them to sell, provided they're obviously going to be making a profit. By the way, they bought him expensively from RB Leipzig. That is it. They bought him was it 80 million euros? Let me check here. They bought him for a fee of 55 million euros with additions of 5. With additions of 5, that is 60 million euros. That is like 50 million pounds. Now, that means if Arsenal raises like 65, 70 million pounds, they can obviously be given this player. That is it. So, let's wait and see how things really pan out. Now, let's head to the World Cup edition, as some players have gone ahead and obviously spoken. Raphinha, representing for Brazil, has come out and said the following, that I feel way more mature at this World Cup than in 2022. I feel way less pressure. I'm ready. I'm happy with this team and with Ancelotti. Now, guys, Ancelotti is going to be the reason as to why Brazil are going to be World Cup favorites. I tell you. And I've gone ahead to like it that many are not even putting Brazil on their list of favorites. Others are saying this is the weakest Brazilian side to ever come at the World Cup, something that I don't really agree with. But this takes off pressure from these players, and it obviously makes them really comfortable and doing their thing. And by the time people realize that the team known as Brazil is serious for this, it will be when it reaches maybe the knockout stages. But in the group stages, Brazil will obviously come and show exactly what they have for you. Brazil is in a group that has the following teams, right? Brazil is in Group C. They do have Morocco, they do have Haiti, and they do have Scotland. Now, what they are going to showcase, I think on Sunday, when they're playing against Morocco, will be one of those showcases that many of you will hinge on to coming through and tell Rokani David that, please, you saw this team was really going to do wonders at the World Cup. And I tell you, it's really going to do wonders in there for you. So, Brazil are opening up on the weekend, on Sunday, against Morocco. And Morocco has gone ahead to see 2 of its players out. You know, Agad and is it Abdi? You know, and they've gone ahead to replace them because of injury. So they are not going to make it to the World Cup, and they've gone ahead to replace them. But Morocco has a vast range of a pool to obviously choose on, because they've gone ahead to recruit very well. Because Morocco has players playing in Spain, Netherlands, and France. So they go outside there and obviously get them, because they do have their ethnicities from Morocco, and they obviously integrate them into their team. Now, let's go to this amazing story that closes up our opening video of the day from James Rodriguez. What has James Rodriguez gone ahead to say? James Rodriguez has come out and said that Luis Diaz, he was asked, Luis Diaz as Ballon d'Or, why? Luis Diaz as Ballon d'Or, why not? For me, he is top 5 in the world right now already. if we get to the final, he can win the Ballon d'Or. That is it. Now, Luis Diaz, I think he's a fantastic player. And I think at Bayern Munich, he has gone ahead to obviously unlock some of his potentials that he couldn't unlock at Liverpool. Because I think at Liverpool, he was a little bit limited. But I think at Bayern Munich, they allow him to express himself more and more and more and more than he would have gone ahead to do at a club known as Liverpool. So, James Rodriguez, I think he's playing his last World Cup, and I think he debuted in the World Cup in 2010, and he plays for Colombia. Colombia is one of those teams that really has a very beautiful squad that you have to look at. And they are in a group that has Portugal, DR Congo, Uzbekistan, and Colombia. Now, I know there are some of the teams that can obviously come and really look as dark horses in the World Cup, but they just have to do the needful and obviously take it to the next level. When you look at Colombia and who they brought in through at the World Cup, you need to obviously understand that they are in for it and they're really a serious team. Let me read you their squad, before we obviously call it quits from this video. Colombia World Cup squad. Where is it? It's Colombia. Colo. All right. Let's search out for it and see exactly how it's looking. Now, that is the Colombian squad. And they brought in Vargas, Montero, and Ospina. Most of you know Ospina. And I think this is going to be Ospina's last World Cup as goalkeepers. Defenders, Di Sanchez, I think was playing at Spurs. Now he's playing, is it in Galatasaray in there? Then Luchumi, Yeremi Mina was playing at Everton. They have Dita. They have Dimunuz. I think he's playing in Spain. And I've seen Newcastle wanting to bring him on. Mojica, Arias, and Machado. That is the defense list. Now, we go to the midfielders. Jelema, Potila, Richard Rios, he plays for Benfica. Castano, Paweta, Arias, Carrasco, Quintero, and Rodriguez. Those are what we call the midfielders. When we go to the attackers, Luis Diaz, J. Campas, E. Gomez, J. Suarez. I think this Suarez is the one who plays for Sporting Lisbon. Then Koroba and Hernandez in there for you. Not so? So, we wait and see how things really pan out for this particular side. Now, let's wait and see how they really go on to do their job down there in Mexico, Canada, in there for you. So, we wait and see how things really pan out for this particular encounter. We love you all and continue to obviously do the needful and really keep it this channel. I sign out for now. See you later. First video of the day and more is coming at you from this particular side of ours. World Cup starting today. Your predictions are welcome in the comment section below.